Jonathan Bocher from PlayGuitar.com. We've got lots of different ways to modify a standard G major chord, okay? Now, all of these modifications technically have chord names. I'm not that interested in the names of what we're doing today. I really want to kind of expand your thinking to see that, hey, wait a second, there's a lot of different modifications, different voicings, different things like that available to me, even when I'm just playing a G chord, right? The beauty of having these options is that you can start using them to lead the melody into other chords, little transition things. You can start adding little mini melodies over top of your chords. Basically, you're adding a lot more movement to your playing, and you can just be strumming or picking or whatever. It doesn't have to be super fancy, but because you're adding in these other little notes, right? It just adds that extra quality to your playing that, the next guy beside you just playing a standard G chord, it's just not going to be there, right? Way more interesting. Let's dive right in. So we're going to consider this our number one position, number one voicing, I suppose you could say. Just a straight ahead G chord. Probably used to that, right? Now, notice that our index finger is available. Well, that means we can use it. So we're going to put it on the C, 1st fret, 2nd string, right there. Okay, so that makes this a G add 4. We're adding the 4th note in the scale, which is the C. Okay. Now, the reason why it's an add 4 is because we still have a B note in the chord. If we replace the B note or remove the B note, then it would be a G sus4, a G suspended 4th. So you could do that if you want by taking your 2nd finger off of the 5th string, 2nd fret, and then muting the 5th string with the pad of your other finger, okay? So that is a G sus4. So now we're already into what? Our 3rd chord, G add 4 plus a G sus4, and the original G. Okay, let's move on. Now we're going to, so we added a C, now we're going to add a D up here. So this brings me into my favorite G shape of all time, straight ahead, just like that. Okay, you've probably seen this a million times. It's just a normal G chord. Sounds great. Let's move on ahead. Now you can also remove your your pinky finger off the 1st string. It's a little bit useful. I usually use that note more as like a melody thing. I wouldn't really strum it with the whole chord. But now we're going to move up here. This is shape number 5. So here again, we're muting that 5th string with this finger, okay? And then we're going to catch the F sharp on the 1st string, 2nd fret with our index finger, the 1st finger. Okay, this is great for adding some kind of tension and then pulling it back, right? So you can do a lot of different things. I love to use that F sharp to lead into a chord change. Sky's the limit. I really encourage you to practice all these different things so you get your hand familiar with how to create them, and then just start putting them into progressions that you use. Songs that you're playing already, start playing around with some of these modifications and see, how can they fit into different songs? Because chances are you're not going to use many in any particular song, but you might use 1 or 2. It might sound really good in that song, right? So I forget what we're up to now, 6 or 7, somewhere in there. We just did this one. We just did the F sharp. That brings us back up here. Now let's add an A. This is a bit of a stretch. Okay. 5th fret, 1st string. And yes, I'm still muting that 5th string. You could play it if you want. It's even more of a stretch. Okay. Now, if you like that A and you want to really double down on that A, we can add another one on the 2nd fret, 3rd string. Okay, I forget how many we're up to now, but let's keep going. So we could lose that top A, come back to our normal G shape, and then just add in the lower A down here, okay? That's a great one. That's like adding the A in is a 2 or a 9 in the scale, right? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right? That's our A. So you'd call this, actually that would be a G sus9 because we don't have the B in place here, okay? We're muting that B, so the 3rd in the chord is removed, and we're replacing it with the 9. So G suspended 9. Okay, great chord, sounds lovely. Okay, we could add an E in here, do a similar trick on the 4th string, 2nd fret. Okay, I really forget how far we've gone now, how many shapes we've got. But we've got a few more for you. We got G over B, useful chord. That's the B on the 2nd fret, 5th string. In this case, we're not playing the G root note, okay? G over B. And then just a straight ahead G, but without the B note in there, okay? So what's happening here, I really like using this a lot, actually. What we've got is actually just G, then a muted string, right? Nothing going on here, because I'm muting it with the 2nd finger. And then I've got a D, which is the 5th. And then I've got a G, root note. Then I've got a D and a G. So this is like one giant power chord, okay? A power chord is just the 1 and the 5. So it's one giant power chord. But if you just play the lower 3 strings, and of course the 5th string is muted, but that's just like a power chord here, right? So I really like using this for just a very clean kind of rhythmic low-end chug thing, right? It's a little bit cleaner to my ear than including that 3rd in there, the B. So we just pull that out, and it gives you a really clean low end. So there's a whole bunch of different ways. I think it's around like 9 or 10 variations that we've looked at. All different ways to modify your G major chord. Go and experiment with this, get creative, and as I said, please start applying. Just take even 1 or 2 of these things and apply them to a song that you enjoy playing and see what you can do with it. Have some fun. Please like and subscribe for more lessons like this, and we'll see you again in the next one.